What if I told you that certain knowledge, hidden in plain sight, has the power to liberate the mind, bend reality, and challenge the very foundations of control? And what if I told you that throughout history, those who uncovered these secrets often paid a terrible price, cast out, silenced, or worse? From the forbidden teachings of ancient mystics to the suppressed discoveries of modern thinkers, there exists a pattern, a cycle of revelation and repression. Some knowledge is so dangerous that it threatens the very structure of power, so unsettling that society itself rejects those who dare to wield it. But why? Why is it that certain truths once spoken lead to exile, condemnation, or even execution? Is it because they reveal a reality too vast for the human mind to handle? Or is it because they expose illusions designed to keep us bound in ignorance? In this video, we will explore the knowledge that got people banned from society, the wisdom that defied kings, churches, and empires. We will unravel the hidden truths that shake the foundations of control, and we will ask the question, what does it mean to truly awaken? Prepare yourself. The path we walk today is not for the faint of heart. It is for the seekers, the rebels, and those who dare to look beyond the veil. Now, let us begin. Throughout history, knowledge has been a double-edged sword. In the right hands, it is a tool for liberation. In the wrong hands, or rather in the eyes of those in power, it is a threat that must be silenced. The story of forbidden knowledge is a story of individuals who dared to ask the questions that were never meant to be asked. Take Pythagoras, the famed mathematician and mystic. While most know him for his theorem, few realize that he led a secretive esoteric school where he taught the concept of the harmony of the spheres, the idea that the universe itself is structured according to divine mathematical principles. He believed that numbers held the key to reality, that certain frequencies and vibrations could unlock hidden dimensions of existence. His teachings, however, were considered too radical, too disruptive, and ultimately, his school was burned to the ground. Then there was Giordano Bruno, a 16th century philosopher and former Dominican friar. He dared to speak of an infinite universe, filled with countless worlds, each potentially teeming with life. But beyond astronomy, Bruno explored something even more dangerous, the idea that human consciousness could transcend earthly limitations and connect directly with the divine. The Church saw this as heresy, a direct challenge to their monopoly on spiritual truth. For this, Bruno was imprisoned, tortured, and ultimately burned at the stake in 1600. We see this same pattern across cultures and civilizations. The Gnostics, an early mystical sect, taught that the world we perceive is an illusion, crafted by a deceptive force that keeps humanity enslaved. They believed that true enlightenment came from direct knowledge, gnosis of the divine, bypassing religious institutions entirely. Such an idea was intolerable to those in power, and so Gnostic texts were banned, their followers persecuted, and their wisdom buried beneath centuries of dogma. Even in the East, those who challenged the accepted order were met with resistance. In ancient China, Laozi spoke of the Tao, the flow of the universe that exists beyond rigid laws and control. His teachings encouraged a way of life that resisted authoritarian structures, which is why Taoist philosophy often clashed with rulers who sought to impose order through force. But why does history repeat this cycle? Why are those who seek hidden truths cast out? Because knowledge is power, and those who understand how reality truly operates cannot be controlled. As we move deeper into this journey, we will uncover the specific truths that got people exiled, imprisoned, or even executed, and how this knowledge can still be applied today. Knowledge alone is not dangerous. It becomes dangerous when it disrupts established systems, when it threatens the illusion of control. But what kind of knowledge is so powerful that it leads to exile, execution, or eternal suppression? The first category of forbidden knowledge is the mastery of consciousness itself, the realization that reality is not as fixed as we are led to believe. The power of the mind over reality. Many ancient traditions taught that the mind is not merely a passive observer of reality, but an active participant in shaping it. Modern quantum physics now hints at this very idea. The observer influences the observed. But long before science, mystics and sages spoke of the law of mentalism, the idea that all is mind, and that thought itself is the fundamental fabric of existence. This was the secret of the Hermeticists, who believed that by mastering thought, one could master reality. Such an idea directly opposed the notion that fate was controlled by divine authority or the ruling class. If individuals could shape their own reality, then kings, priests, and governments would lose their hold over the people. This is why many Hermetic texts were destroyed or hidden away, surfacing only in fragments throughout history. A similar concept appears in Buddhist and Hindu traditions, particularly in Advaita Vedanta and Dzogchen teachings, which claim that the physical world is a construct of the mind. If people truly understood that their suffering, their limitations, and even their sense of self were mere illusions, then they would no longer be bound by societal structures. They would no longer be easily manipulated by fear, desire, or authority. The secret of vibration and frequency. Another piece of dangerous knowledge lies in the understanding of vibration and frequency. Every ancient culture had teachings on sound, resonance, and the power of spoken words. The Egyptians believed that certain sounds could align one's energy with cosmic forces. The Sufis of the Islamic world used chants and whirling dances to reach altered states of consciousness. The Vedic tradition in India speaks of Nada Brahma, the idea that the universe itself is sound. Even Nikola Tesla, a modern scientific genius, echoed this wisdom when he said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." But why would such knowledge be suppressed? Because it implies that words, music, and even thoughts can be used as tools of transformation, or as weapons of control. If a society were to discover that certain vibrations could heal the body, expand consciousness, or break destructive patterns, then pharmaceutical industries, media, and even religious institutions would lose much of their influence. This is not mere speculation. Research into cymatics, the study of how sound frequencies affect matter, has shown that different vibrations can create order or chaos in physical structures. If this applies to the human body and mind, then it becomes clear why control systems would rather keep such discoveries out of public hands. The illusion of time and the eternal now. One of the most radical pieces of forbidden knowledge is the understanding that time itself is an illusion. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously, yet we are trained to perceive time linearly. This idea is found in multiple spiritual traditions, from the Mayan concept of cyclical time to Einstein's revelations about space-time. Why this knowledge was feared? The knowledge we've explored so far threatens control at its very root. If people understood that, their minds shape reality. Frequency and vibration influence their state of being. Time is an illusion that keeps them trapped in fear. Then fear-based control systems would collapse overnight. Rulers throughout history have relied on keeping people in a mental prison. The moment individuals realize their true potential, they become ungovernable in the traditional sense. But this is only half the story. There is another layer to forbidden knowledge, one that goes even deeper, one that has been guarded in secrecy for thousands of years. If the first layer of forbidden knowledge is about the power of the mind, vibration, and time, then the second layer is even more profound. It reveals the hidden forces that shape reality itself. These truths have been whispered in secret orders, encoded in ancient texts, and buried under layers of deception. Those who uncovered them either vanished into secrecy or were silenced. The nature of reality, the holographic universe. What if the world around you is not as solid as it appears? Ancient mystics and modern physicists alike suggest that reality is not made of matter, but of information, consciousness itself. This is the essence of the holographic universe theory, which suggests that everything we experience is merely a projection from a deeper level of reality. This idea is not new. The Hindu concept of Maya describes the world as an illusion, a grand deception that veils the true nature of existence. The Gnostics believed we live in a simulated reality, created by a false god, the demiurge, designed to keep humanity trapped in ignorance. Even Plato's allegory of the cave warns that what we perceive as reality may be mere shadows on a wall, far removed from the ultimate truth. In modern times, scientists like David Bohm have proposed that the universe functions like a vast hologram, where every part contains the whole. If this is true, then reality is more fluid than we have been led to believe. Consciousness itself may be the key to accessing deeper layers of existence, much like tuning into different channels on a radio. But why would such knowledge be hidden? Because if people realized that their perception of reality could be reprogrammed, the systems of control, governments, corporations, organized religion, would lose their grip overnight. The greatest lie ever told is that you are powerless, when in reality, you are the creator of your own experience. The forbidden art of energy manipulation. Another layer of hidden knowledge lies in the understanding of energy and life force, prana, chi, or orgone energy. Every ancient civilization, from the Egyptian priesthood to the Taoist sages, had techniques for harnessing this unseen force. Qigong masters demonstrated the ability to manipulate energy fields for healing, longevity, and even telekinesis. Tantric and yogic traditions spoke of awakening Kundalini energy, a dormant spiritual force that, when activated, leads to enlightenment and extraordinary abilities. Alchemy, often misunderstood as merely turning lead into gold, was actually about the transmutation of the self, turning the base metal of human consciousness into spiritual gold. Throughout history, individuals who mastered these practices were either revered as saints or hunted as sorcerers. In medieval Europe, those who practiced healing arts and herbal medicine were accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake. Even today, alternative healing practices are dismissed, ridiculed, or aggressively regulated by powerful industries that profit from disease and dependency. But why is energy work so feared? Because it grants independence. A person who understands how to cultivate and direct their own life force does not need external authority to dictate their health, emotions, or spiritual state. They become self-sufficient, unshackled from the control of external institutions. The ultimate taboo, immortality, and the nature of death. Perhaps the most dangerous knowledge of all is the truth about death itself. Almost every spiritual tradition that was suppressed or distorted contained a radical view of death, one that directly opposed fear-based control systems. The Tibetan Book of the Dead teaches that death is merely a transition, and that one can navigate the afterlife consciously. Ancient Egyptian mystery schools prepared initiates for dying before death, mastering the art of moving beyond physical existence while still alive. The Taoist immortals sought physical longevity, claiming that the body could be sustained indefinitely through the mastery of breath and energy. Why would this knowledge be dangerous? Because fear of death is the ultimate control mechanism. If people understood that death is not the end, but merely a doorway to another state of existence, then threats of punishment, suffering, or eternal damnation would lose their power. Without the fear of death, control through fear collapses. Many of those who uncovered these truths did not survive to share them widely. Countless mystics, monks, alchemists, and seekers vanished from history, leaving behind only cryptic fragments of their wisdom. The question is, why? Because to truly awaken is to become uncontrollable. It is to step outside the illusion, to no longer respond to manipulation, fear, or external authority. It is to remember who and what you really are, something those in power have spent centuries trying to prevent. But now, this knowledge is resurfacing, and for those willing to walk this path, it offers freedom beyond imagination. Are you ready to apply this wisdom to your own life? Knowing these hidden truths is one thing. Applying them is what truly sets you free. The systems of control that have ruled society for centuries rely on one simple fact. Most people never act on their knowledge. They learn, they contemplate, but they do not transform. If you wish to walk the path of those who sought dangerous wisdom, then you must practice what they practiced. 1. Reclaim your mind. Reality is malleable. If reality is shaped by perception, then mastering your mind is the first step to true power. The world will tell you that you are a victim of circumstance, but ancient teachings suggest the opposite. You are the architect of your own experience. Try this. Observe your thoughts for a day. Write them down. What patterns do you see? Are they mostly fear-based, reactive, or empowering? Reprogram limiting beliefs by consciously choosing new ones. If you believe you are powerless, replace that with, I am the creator of my reality. Repeat it daily until it becomes your truth. Use visualization to reshape your reality. Every night before sleep, vividly imagine the life you want as if it is already real. This is not just wishful thinking. Many secret societies, spiritual masters, and even elite figures in power have used mental imagery to shape the physical world. 2. Work with frequency and vibration. If the universe operates on frequency, then your personal frequency determines your reality. Fear and anger keep you in a low vibrational state, making you easier to manipulate. Love, clarity, and focus elevate you beyond control. Try this. Use sound and music consciously. 432 Hz and 528 Hz frequencies have been associated with harmony and healing. Avoid chaotic, aggressive, or negative soundscapes. Practice vocal toning or chanting. Mantras like Om or ancient prayers have been used for centuries to shift consciousness. Surround yourself with high-vibration influences, nature, uplifting books, deep conversations. The more refined the input, the higher your energetic state. 3. Escape the illusion of time. Live in the now. The world trains you to dwell on the past or fear the future, because a mind trapped in time is a mind that can be controlled. Those who understand the eternal present know that true power exists only now. Try this. Daily mindfulness practice. Throughout the day, stop and ask, am I fully here? Bring your awareness back to the present moment. Drop regrets and worries. Every time your mind drifts to the past or future, gently return to the now. Over time, this breaks the illusion of time-based suffering. Engage in flow state activities, meditation, creative work, deep conversations. These moments of timeless presence are where true power lies. 4. Harness your life energy, prana, chi, or orgone energy. Mystics and sages knew that energy is the foundation of all things, and that mastering it leads to incredible transformation. Try this. Breathwork exercises. Practices like Wim Hof breathing, pranayama, or qigong breathing can supercharge your energy levels. Grounding techniques. Walk barefoot on natural ground, meditate with intention, and use deep breathing to restore balance. Energy awareness. Start sensing your own energy field. Rub your hands together, pull them apart slowly, and notice the invisible force between them. The more you practice, the more tangible it becomes. 5. Transcend the fear of death. Fear of death is the deepest control mechanism. But what if death is not the end? Many ancient traditions taught that consciousness survives beyond the body. Those who embrace this truth live without fear, without hesitation. Try this. Meditate on impermanence. Every day, reflect on the transient nature of all things. This frees you from attachment and fear. Lucid dreaming and astral projection. Many spiritual seekers have explored altered states to gain first-hand experience of existence beyond the physical body. Face the unknown with curiosity, not fear. Fear of death vanishes when one experiences eternity directly, whether through deep meditation, mystical states, or near-death experiences. Final words. Before we move to the conclusion, the knowledge that got people banned, persecuted, or erased from history was never about destruction. It was about liberation. Those who sought truth beyond what was permitted became dangerous, not because they wielded weapons, but because they could not be controlled. Now you stand at the threshold of this same path. What will you do with it? The world has always feared those who seek to break free. History has erased the names of countless mystics, alchemists, and visionaries, not because they were wrong, but because they were right in ways that threatened the system itself. The most dangerous knowledge is not hidden in some ancient book or locked away in secret vaults. It has been in front of you the entire time, in your thoughts, in your perception, in the very way you experience reality. The only thing preventing you from unlocking it is belief. Ask yourself, what if reality is not what I was taught? What if I have more power than I ever imagined? What if fear, limitation, and suffering are illusions designed to keep me asleep? Those who have walked this path before you left clues, not to control you, but to free you. And now you hold the key. But knowledge alone is not enough. Action is what separates the seeker from the master. Will you continue living as a prisoner of illusion, or will you take the first step toward liberation? The choice is yours.